That's a definite downgrade in terms of running backs. I mean, definitely upgraded grabbing Mac. That's an absolute upgrade in terms of names, but what is wrong with you, Cincinnati? Yeah, this ain't a playoff team. This team is not a playoff team. Why do you need Deshaun Kelly? Doesn't help you at all. Yeah, I mean this team, the moment you get into their second string, they just can't do anything.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. We are just moments away from kickoff, and we've got a good one on tap between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Pittsburgh Steelers. With that, we're off to Pittsburgh for the home opener. On the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, at Heinz Field. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. They've been buoyed by getting 2 home games right at the start, and they come off a good victory in Week 1.
And how about that defense last week? They pitched a shutout, and it's really more like a no-hitter because they absolutely dominated that game from the opening whistle.
Meanwhile, for the Bengals here, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes that actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. And a glance at the tall signal caller, standing 6'6".
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
Hurry up, here we go.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Flush to his right, and he'll slide down to avoid the contact. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make it 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. It's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback.
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
That's caught inside the 20. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 45 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, it's complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Set. 3-19.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5. Defensive starters, here they are for Cincinnati. They currently sit at number 4 in the NFL in terms of stopping the run.
We know it's only week 1, but the results look pretty good so far. The key is, can they do it week in and week out? Because right now, they're not awarding any championships or trophies after 1 week of performance. Got some nice young faces playing for them. Let's see if they can get this going.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. They'll set up to throw. And it's incomplete, broken up. But there is a flag down. Let's see what that's about.
Pressed the wrong button, but it looks like paying off big time.
And since the penalty occurred in the end zone, move the ball to the 1-yard line.
1st and goal from the 1-yard line. Costly penalty.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Got his man, it's caught for a Steelers touchdown. It's the fullback, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. So they go play action, 3 tight ends out there in the heavy set.
Well, they showed everything that suggested running play. Just what you mentioned, 3 tight ends, heavy formation, able to go play action off of it because if you're a defender, you're thinking it's a running play with that much beef on the field.
But they passed it, and they got 6 out of it. Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Elliott now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating 1st downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Here we go now. Green 3.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Flushed out right, and he's able to get up here to the 26. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down. Now a look at the defensive starters here for the Steelers. They played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
Yeah, they pitched a shutout in that game, didn't they? And those don't come around all that often in the NFL. The ability to keep someone out of the end zone and also from kicking one through the post. Well done.
And on 3rd down, a nickel. Formation here defensively. They'll look to throw here. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. The Bengals bring out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. This is fielded at the 27. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted.
It's not.
Picked off at the 39. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Now, they told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long, pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that one.
Throwing the slant pattern here complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he... gets into enemy territory.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
They go play action here on 1st down. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10.
Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs, but the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Over the middle, complete. It's Craig. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line.
The Steelers insert their nickel defense on 3rd down.
Yeah, they add a DB.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Now back to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it looks like Steeler football. It is.
That play at Oakley, we went on 5 times.
With no
We
running
could
backs
have
in
had
the
2.
backfield to help pass protect.
Sheesh.
All the receivers
That was
in
a
their
mess.
patterns. It's going to be hot routes if they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback. They've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Almost unstoppable on the ground there as that one is good for 39.
Dance class, anyone? Did you see the steps between the quarterback and the running
That's
back
what you
on
need
that
for a
counter
good
play?
counter.
You have to have it because you're setting up your blocking. There's a timing element as well, but they have to marry up their steps. Otherwise, that timing gets thrown out the window.
Timing was great there and a big run. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And he's got it. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. As his guys are in for 6. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. Elliott now to add the extra point.
That drive was quick and impressive. Almost like they had somewhere else they needed to be after the game.
Elliott good with a PAT. And that'll make the score 14-0. Elliott now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And that second down run, a big help as 7 yards leaves him with just a 3rd and 3 now.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
He'll look to throw. He's able to find Hawkins. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this 2nd week of the regular season. They'll drop the throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 7 yards on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it
Great
in
catch there by
one-handed.
Weston.
It's a big play there for the Steelers. 55 yards. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, it brings me right out of my seat. Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that.
This is intercepted.
Great.
Picked off down at the 2. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Now Madden. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. And the Steelers signal for another timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 3. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Throwing left side, it's complete. So we reach halftime here in the Steel City with the Steelers on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll begin our trip around the NFL with an interesting one right off the bat, and it's the Ravens out in front as that game moves towards halftime. The Ravens seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Next, we head off to check out another game, and they have the lead in that one over the visiting Dallas Cowboys. The Texans looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. Finally, we head to the shores of Lake Erie, see what's going on with the Cleveland Browns. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Indianapolis Colts. Tony Gonzalez, a touchdown reception. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken